October Red Boxing here with Savage Dan, Mr. Dogwork, the face of the media of Boxer. Savage, welcome back to October Red Boxing.
Lovely to be back. How are you? I can't do these interviews with you. I don't know what it is.
I know you ain't going to be able to tell us, but...
I might.
Oh, go on then.
What do you want? What are you asking?
I'd like to know... All right, if you can't give me names, can you tell me the weight divisions of the next Boxer signings?
No. Although I can't give you a name, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you an exclusive.
Me?
I might get in trouble for it, but I'm going to give you an exclusive. I'm going to leak a date that we have locked in. We've already announced March 12th, Newcastle, right?
Yep.
I'm going to give you March 26th, London.
What?
I'll give you March 26th, London.
Okay, say less.
A big card. A big card. That's it. No more. That's it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, wow. You can jump. Do you not want to jump in? You're not allowed? You can't say a quick hello? Oh.
I remember. I literally remember. Yeah.
Oh.
Last thing you needed.
Because I don't edit out anything, so you'll be on there briefly.
No, it's fine.
Is that all right? Because I don't want to get anyone the fucking sack. Do you know what I mean?
It's fine. Big up SA UK and that.
Oh, well, there you go then. October Red Boxing here with Savage Dan, Mr. Dogwork, the face of the media of Boxer. Savage, welcome back to October Red Boxing.
Lovely to be back. How are you? I can't do these interviews with you. I don't know what it is.
We're going to be serious. We're going to try and be serious. And we're going to talk about today's lively events. Let me just make sure your beautiful face. Nah, it's all right. As long as that beautiful face of yours is in shot, we're good. Talk to me about today's card, because it was spicy here.
Yeah, look, it's a stacked card, and then when you consider that there's 3 Welsh fighters on there, you heard the support for Rhys Edwards, Chris Jenkins, Liam Williams. It's going to be that tenfold tomorrow night. What is it, 5,000, 4,800 in Motorpoint? It's going to be the craziest atmosphere ever. It almost seemed pantomime. Even when it was Harlem that was on there, they're booing him, you know, and it's good. It makes for a crazy atmosphere. I think that's exactly what you want. And we tried something new, and we tried to go with a final face-off at 5 o'clock. And I think for a first run, I'm quite impressed. You know, it was a good turnout. Hopefully it does well in terms of, you know, the socials and stuff like that. But it's good, you know, it's a ceremonial way, and you finally get to see them face to face, and it not be at 1 or 2 o'clock, because I'm going to watch I will watch a 1 o'clock weigh-in because I am a hardcore boxing fan. But for casuals, you will probably miss it, you know, and it happens in the middle of the day. So it's something new that we're trying. I think it worked. What do you think?
I definitely think it worked. I liked it because, like you said, you got the serious stuff out of the way, the concentration's there. The fighters are usually a bit hangry when it's weigh-in time anyway, so it was kind of kept intimate, so I think that worked. And then to bring the crowd in for the face-off, I like that. I mean, this hall, fair enough, it's a decent size, but what you're going to say, a couple of hundred. But the noise, just from a couple of hundred, I can't even imagine what tomorrow night's going to be like.
It's going to be like a cauldron. This is going to be one of the most hostile atmospheres you can hope to ever be in, because the Welsh make themselves heard. They are behind their fighters 100%. Not that it will make that much of a difference for Chris Eubanks, because he actually kind of likes that. He wants to beat the man, and then he wants to beat the thousands of people in the crowd as well. So that might give him the extra edge as well. But Liam Williams is up for this, man. He wasn't sunk at the weight. He was eating well. He said all day, even before he had breakfast, came in slightly under. So look, they are both raring to go. I wonder how long they'll both be able to keep that lid on before it explodes on fight night.
And you're right about keeping that lid on, because that's exactly what I've seen Liam Williams do in the presses that we've had. We've had a couple now, and he seemed more calm, reserved. And I'm not going to lie, I've took that as him being slightly sheepish, excuse the pun, none intended, but he just seemed quite reserved. But when those shirts came off and that face-off happened, he blew his lid.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like fire and ice. Fire in the belly, ice in the head, and he's got that right mix at the moment. He's known for being a little bit of a hothead, and you can see it's still simmering right underneath it. You're almost anticipating a push. Didn't happen. He managed to keep the lid on, but even within the fight, I think he's going to have moments where he needs to, compose himself, not go hell for leather, because you can walk into traps. And look, this, I said it already, I would be astounded if this was a one-way fight and someone just got their own way for all 12 rounds. This is going to be back and forth. The crowd will play their part. It's going to be a crazy fight. I think it's like an immediate fan-friendly fight.
And I'm going to ask you then, because we talk about the styles. We've got Liam, who's quite aggressive, come forward, throws those punches. And then we've got, Chris Eubanks Jr., that switched up his style, a little bit more relaxed, sitting into his shots. How do you see him keeping Liam off?
I've got a bit of a hot take where I think Liam's going to try and keep him long. I've got a feeling that because of both of their trainers, they are both mid-range fighters. They're not, renowned for boxing at long range. However, they've both got trainers now that would prefer them to box more than they fight. Adam Booth especially. So I have a feeling we might see Liam Smith try and go a little bit longer and get that Adam Booth jab to kind of be a bit more of a spear and work the distance. Eventually, we all know it's going to end up mid-range, and it will end up being a bit of a fight. But I have a feeling this might be a careful start from both of them. They both carry power, both tough, both don't want to give much away. I've got a feeling this might stay long range just for a little bit before it explodes.
And that's what I was going to say, because, obviously his previous trainer, Dominic, says that he often tells Liam what to do, but when he gets in the ring, it just all goes out the window. So when you say a little bit longer, how long do you think that he can take before he just goes hell for leather?
A couple of rounds. I don't think it would be too long. It might even be as soon as the first power shot is landed. The crowd won't make it any easier for him to keep composure, because they'll roar him on. They want him to put pressure on Eubanks. There's so many ways this fight could go, because Eubanks isn't exactly known for fighting on the back foot. So sometimes taking the fight to Eubanks might be your best form of defense even. So look, one thing you do know is that Adam Booth knows how to make a game plan. He gets his fighters very sharp, and he gets them in the right mental state to be able to take that fight. And he's had a long time with him now. He's had 11 weeks enough time to be able to implement a style and to maybe make slight modifications to Liam Williams' style. So I think, I've sat on the fence all week. I'm going to continue to do so. I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, it is one of them where one week you can sway one way, the next week you can sway another. I don't know, but I'm still, and this is me, an unbiased opinion, I still think that Eubanks is going to attack him to the body. He likes to sit in his shots, and he has got that power in his punches. I spoke to his last opponent from the last fight that came in and supposed to be southpaw and whatever, switched it up. But he did say his shots, really hurt. So I see Eubanks doing that and then possibly ending it. I'm going to go as far as saying he's going to get a stoppage late.
I mean, look, I think you could there's a cause for anything. You could say late Eubanks stoppage. There's a case to say late Williams stoppage. He's the one that carries the bigger punch out of the two, and he's tough. He's shown that as well. This could be stopped in the fourth. This could go all 12. I don't think there's anyone that can convincingly say, I know what's going to happen in this fight, and that's why it's such a good fight. There's little things that have happened that will maybe tilt the pendulum in Liam Williams' direction, but then there are things that will bring it back towards, you've got the home crowd. Is that going to play a part? It will at some point. It's just, who does it help? A home crowd can sometimes make you fight more aggressively than you should, especially with Adam Booth in your corner. So there's so many different factors. I think it is simply a case of whoever puts on a better performance and has the better game plan wins the fight. Anything less than a great performance from either of them, they lose the fight.
100%. There is no switching off in that. 100%. I agree with that because of the way Liam is so relentless with his punches. You can't switch off. He's on you like a rash, and that is the only thing I'm saying. I'm interested to see what IQ Chris is going to use to keep him off. That's the thing that's intrigued me because usually Chris is that come forward fighter. I can't really remember him being much of a back foot fighter. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, he shows moments where it's not necessarily back foot fighting, but he takes his foot off the pedal and he kind of invites you onto him. But it's because he knows he's that level above you. I've never seen him do it with a fighter that is, you know, a genuine threat to him, you know, where you have to actually be on your P's and Q's. So, look, this is why we have this fight. It is intriguing. No one knows. Everyone's got a different answer. My answer's changed numerous times. You know, at one point it's Eubanks, then I thought, oh, maybe that's happened, and that swings it back this way. So we'll have to wait. It's only one more sleep, and we get it.
And what is, headline aside, because I'm kind of excited for Caroline Dubois' debut. And what I will say about Caroline is she's a real character. She's got that sense of humour. She's eager. She's keen to get in there. And, you know, she's already said, my opponent don't want it. And she says it with, you know, confidence, not like she's been media trained to say it. There's something real about Caroline. I don't know, what are your thoughts on Caroline? I
think she is the real thing. I made some big calls already on what I think she'll do in her career. I like her, I really do. I think that she's quite shy and she's not super outspoken yet and all of that. But as soon as she gets in that ring, it's like a switch goes. She's a monster in there. I love her style. I think she's got such a fluid, you know, style. The way she throws her shots, southpaw as well, almost reminds me a little bit of a Natasha Jonas. In just very good, perfect schooling, throws the left hand like a spear. Just a beautiful style, really like a joy to watch, just aesthetically. So yeah, I think, you know, the nerves won't get to her one bit. I think she's built for this. She comes from a boxing family. If you know, like you look at your brother being Daniel Dubois, it's everything's set for her. You know, I think that is the next global women's superstar.
Looking forward to that one. What other fight on the card are you looking forward to as well, and why? Because this has been more like I've been really honest in this. I'm not even asking for your opinion. We're having a conversation about it.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm interested in the Shields-Cozen fight simply because it is number 1 versus number 3 in the rankings. It tees up a super fight with Savannah Marshall, but if I'm totally honest, I think Shields will show her class and will make this seem quite easy. Even though it shouldn't be, and it's not. It's a tough opponent. The one that I'm looking at is the Jenkins-Ndongo. That fight is a potential banana skin. It kind of came out of nowhere. You're going to have the Welsh crowd behind Chris, and then you've got Ndongo, who can at any point pull off the craziest upset. He's still got big power. So that's a fight I'm looking at, and I'll be like really like concentrating on, because the power's the last thing to go. You just never know what's going to happen. And then down the card, the other one that I'm looking at is the English title fight between Antwi and Conor. That fight, I kind of like those fights because they're the fights that aren't about the money. They're the ones that, you know, it's people just trying to work out who is the best at what point in their careers. I think because of it, you get a really good, solid domestic fight. I think like that one could be one that gels very well as well.
So when you say gels very well, who would you have your money on if you were a betting man out of them two?
If I had my money on one, I would probably lose it, but I would have it on Antwi. He is the champion. I think he's got the tools to kick on. They've both got 1 defeat on their record, but when I look at Antwi, I look at someone who, for me, looks super confident. Conor seems ready, and he seems a little bit wound up, and he wants to get in that ring. I wonder if something like that might play into Samuel's hands.
Yeah, because Samuel comes across as quite relaxed. I know you said like the confidence, but he's sort of like, I don't know, you know when someone sits comfortably in their house and nothing seems to faze them? That's the impression that I'm getting off Antwi.
Yeah, and look, they're both ready to fight. Antwi seems to still have a smile on his face, whereas Conor's a little bit more uptight. and that's just their personalities, I'm guessing. Look, that one could go either way. That is a crossroads fight. You know, not a crossroads where the loser has nowhere to go, but it's one where they are both at a very similar level. And the winner kicks on, and now you can go and have a look at British and Commonwealth and then move on from there, and the loser has to rebuild. So it's a 50-50 fight. You know, I love them regardless of the big names and the big profiles. I like to see good fights, and I think that's what we'll get with this one.
So back to Boxer then, the philosophy, where we are today. We started, October the 2nd last year, Wembley Arena, the first time, I had the pleasure of meeting yourself. We got on like a house on fire straight away. Don't know why, dog work. Anyway, the developments and, from fights that are sort of like, well-to-do, well-mannered pressers to then ending up towards these grudge matches that you've got lined up. Obviously tomorrow with Eubanks Williams. Then we've got Khan Brook as well, simmering there, ready for the 19th. Jack Catterall as well. Yep. We've got that, and then potentially after the Shields, Marshall. For you then, being part of Boxer, how does that development feel? Because it's sort of like, I don't know, you've been working up to it, and now it's like all systems go.
We almost came into it quite politely, and just we're just finding our feet as you would, and we are on a fast learning curve. We have kind of no right to be putting on a February schedule that we've put on. This undoubtedly, this is the best February schedule of any boxing promotion in the country, obviously, and worldwide. To be fair, who's got a better February schedule than Boxer? It is, a pleasure to be part of it. You've got, a bill like this, which could probably be pay-per-view if you really pushed it. Then you've got Khan vs Brook, the fight that everyone's been wanting for years, and then you've got probably, for my liking, the best fighter in the world, and Josh Taylor fighting Jack Catterall. And that's just February. Wait till you see our March schedule and our April. It sets us up for a big year. It's not going to be February and then we've blown our load. We are going to keep going. We want to bring the best fights. We want to work with everyone. We want to make sure that the fans get their money's worth. We want the fans to get the best fights because we're boxing fans as well, and I want to see the best fight the best where possible. I understand you've got to protect your assets and do all of that, but good fights are good fights, and we want to put them on.
And you've got the new signings as well. There is so much. It's because the last time we spoke was in November last year. So much has happened. We've got the new signings. I remember getting the email saying, you've signed this person, and I'm like, what? What is going on? I know you ain't going to be able to tell us, but
I might.
Oh, go on then.
What do you want? What are you asking?
I'd like to know. All right, if you can't give me names, can you tell me the weight divisions of the next Boxer signings?
No. It's too much of a giveaway.
Oh my God.
Obviously there are more coming. There are more signings coming. It's difficult because there's a lot of people who doubted Boxer in Sky at the beginning, and now they're looking over and they're like, oh no, they're thriving. We're kicking on now. And this is, honestly, when I say this, I know it's cliche, but it's just the beginning. We are, we want to do big things and bring big fights, and we want to have the biggest fighters and the biggest nights and the biggest everything, So, although I can't give you a name, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you an exclusive.
Me?
I might get in trouble for it, but I'm going to give you an exclusive. I'm going to leak a date that we have locked in. We've already announced March 12th, Newcastle, right?
Yep.
I'm going to give you March 26th, London.
What?
I'll give you March 26th, London.
Okay, say less.
A big card. That's it. No more. That's it.
Listen, okay, March 26th, London. And on a final note then, the evolution of boxing. Is Boxer or Sky Sports, you are in conjunction with each other, you guys as the main promoters, Sky Sports as the broadcaster, are you going to develop an app so we can watch it anywhere we like? Is this something that we can do where we, the subscription, it's on an app? Because everything's apps. Amazon apps, Disney apps, everything's apps. Is that something that you guys are going to do?
I've never even thought about that. An app.
Come on, can I get some? Can I get some commission on this if this goes?
Can I give you my honest opinion? I'm not sure there's enough pure boxing fans for just an app. I feel like there's a reason you have Sky Sports, the biggest broadcaster, the best platform in the world. You have Boxer, who are new here, but, you know, growing quickly, you know, and we're learning the ropes very fast and we're really sinking our teeth in. Call me old school, and I'm only young, but I would keep it as it is. I'm not sure where an app could really come in, but I'm going to leave that to you to show me the value in.
Well, my idea of thinking is, if Sky Sports have an app, you press into that app and it says, you know, Boxer. So you can go into like a subfolder, Boxer Fights, subfolder, ESPN, another folder, Top Rank. I'm just looking at innovation so we can literally just plug in and play anywhere we like.
Do you know how many moving parts there are to something like that? Are you talking about old fights or new fights? It requires partnerships. It requires so many things that would have to be done that, yeah, in a perfect world, it would be great. But I wonder if it's feasible at the moment.
I think with you're somebody that likes a challenge. You're somebody that would go above and beyond just to do something different. So I'm going to leave you with that then.
Thank you. It's a great idea. I'll have a chat with Ben about it and see what we think.
I can see it now, the Boxer app. I can see the icon on my phone, and I think it's actually the way forward. But what do I know? I'm just somebody that watches fights.
You mean a Boxer app? I thought you meant a Sky Sports app that goes then into...
Yeah, it's an option. It's an option to do it via Sky Sports because there is a Sky Go app. You can do that anyway. But as Boxer...
I'll have that conversation in a second. I'll see. And I'll honestly, it's the first time I've heard of it. Thank you for giving us the idea. We'll give you your percentage.
Yeah, right. I'll chase you down. I'll find out where you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look.
I'll just look for the dogs, the trailer dogs.
It's not my department. I know absolutely nothing about apps and what it takes to run them and how much they need to be watered and looked after. But it's certainly a good idea. You know, I'll run it to him.
I only say it because I think you guys are forward thinking and innovative in what you're doing, and I understand, you know, development is about taking risks, as we say, TRAP, take risks and prosper. It's the only way we can do it. So, yeah, a bit of food for thoughts, but Savage Dan, it's always a pleasure. I'm not getting on the camera because my hair's, I look like something out of a Little House on the Prairie. It's not happening.
It was lovely speaking to you as always. As always.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.